What's up guys? So in this video we're going to talk about the Oura ring. Super popular, super expensive Oura ring. Is it actually even worth it? So if you've been considering purchasing the Oura ring but you're not really sure, since it's like $300 or $400, and actually if you get the ones with the 4 or 5 diamonds right here, it's like $1,200 or $1,300. Anyway, so welcome to the first and the last ever Oura review you're ever going to have to watch, right? Because I'm going to break this down now that I've owned it and have worn it for like 2 weeks, and I'm going to break it down, keep it super efficient, and let you guys in on my real life experiences while wearing and using the Oura ring. So let's just get right to the review. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is hop on the website, Oura ring, boom, there it is. Let's boot up the website so it's relevant and it makes sense. Know why you feel how you feel. The most accurate guide on sleep, readiness, and activity. So the first thing we'll talk about is how the Oura ring is really actually marketed more towards health, right? I know a lot of people might be considering this because the counting the calories and it's super accurate. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But really, the whole point of this company and their vision for this Oura ring is really just to help everyone achieve better overall health, right? And they have deemed, out of all their research and their experience and their studies, they have deemed that they have put health into basically 3 categories that they find are super important for everyone to understand where they're at on, right? So those 3 categories, as you can see on their website, are sleep, super important. Most people undervalue that. Your readiness, which readiness really is a score that they give you based off of your sleep as well, right? And the third one is activity, right? That's where the calories come in, etc. So we'll break those down here in a moment, but those are the 3 scores that this health ring is actually going to track, right? And in the best way possible. All right, so you're probably like considering the price, right? So as you can see here, it is $299, and then you pay shipping, so it's just over $300 for their entry point rings. And luckily, actually, the one I have is this Heritage Silver. I actually like the design of their basic ring more than the other more expensive options. So it's kind of cool that the one I wanted was the cheaper one. But look, they have this black color as well that you can go with. You know, but I like the flashy look. And then they have the stealth, which is like another $100. It's $400. And then they have the gold, which is $400 if you're into gold. And the gold is a limited edition, so it might be worth it if you're into that. Now, if you choose this look, which, I mean, I like the flat head look, but if you choose like where it's pointed, you can actually go and then put diamonds on it. Look at that. Oh, they lowered the price. So it's $1,000 plus shipping if you want diamonds as well on it, right? So it's the same ring. Like, you might as well just do the cheaper one, I guess. But if you're super bougie and you've got more money to spend, you can do that. Awesome. So price is out of the way. You know what the price is. This is the one I got, $300. And now that the price is out of the way, let's go over the highlights, right? So we're on the website right here. So this ring, boom, Oura ring, is actually made from lightweight titanium. And after wearing it for a couple of weeks, it actually is very comfortable and very lightweight. It's not very heavy, even though it looks big. Probably because I got the size 11, which is almost one of their largest sizes, because I have big sausage fingers. Anyways, though, even though the ring is pretty big, it's actually quite light. So it's made from titanium, which is a super hard metal. Titanium is more expensive than like stainless steel, etc., and it's very light. Okay, so then long battery life up to 7 days. So this isn't really true though. So what I found is that every 4 days you have to put it on the charger, and here's why, right? Even though technically, if you charge this to the full battery life, it may last all the way up to 7 days. But when you read the fine print, like the way I did in the manual, it actually recommends that you leave the battery anywhere from 30% to 80%. Like, that's the optimal range, right? Because if you drop under 30%, it's like not healthy for the overall life of the ring. And if you're spending this much money on something that's actually pretty critical to your health, it's like you might as well follow the actual guidelines. So in my experience, that actually translates into like 4 days of usage, you know, to stay within that 30 to 80% battery range. So it's really 4 days, not 7. But what's cool is that it only takes 15 to 45 minutes, I have found, to get into that optimal, like right under 80% battery, which is what you want to charge it to. You don't even want to overcharge it to 100% because it's not healthy for your ring. So, 15 to 45 minutes, depending on like your outlet and stuff, is really not bad at all. Then you're done for like 4 days. So that is a realistic insider recommendation on what you can expect with the battery life. It's really not 7 days. All right, let's go on. Water resistant. So actually this thing is super water resistant, right? I like how their marketing isn't really too over exaggerated. Like they say it's water resistant, but I mean it's basically waterproof. Like one of the main key selling points that really helped me get over the fence, right, and actually go along with the purchase is because I actually go to the gym a lot, and I will do like unorthodox recovery stuff. Like I take ice baths a lot because I can afford them, and I go to the sauna a lot, right? And then one thing that really separates this Oura ring is that look, it's like water resistant up to 100 meters, like that, which is more than 328 feet. Like, so you can even scuba dive with this freaking thing, and it's not going to actually damage the ring, right? Also, you can take it into the hot sauna and reach crazy degrees, like 190 degrees, 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and it will not damage the Oura ring for a good amount of time. And it's like when you're doing an ice bath or going into the sauna, you're probably not going to go in there for longer than 30 minutes at a time. And it's just well prepared for those extreme temperatures without you having to take it off, right? That's so huge and so important, because when you get those cheaper solutions like the watches that will monitor your calories or whatever, or your heart rate, or some bracelet, like they're really, even though they're marketed as like water resistant, you can't take them into a super cold ice bath or a super hot sauna, because even though you might get away with a session or two, over time you really will depreciate and damage your cheap little bands or those other poorer solution watches that will monitor that stuff. And then it's like, even though it's not going to break, so let's say you go the cheap route and you buy a $50 band or a watch that'll show you your health and your heart rate and your calories, right? It's not going to break the one day you go into the sauna, but it'll get worse, and it'll get worse and worse over time. So then when you're looking at your readings, they're not accurate. And if they're not accurate because you've damaged your cheaper solution, then it's like, what's the point of the whole product if those aren't really the amount of calories you burned, or that's not even really what your heart rate is, that sort of thing, right? So that's what was the biggest selling point for me. This is super like military grade, and you can actually, it was built in order to take into the sauna and into the ice bath, because this is a company that thought of that and manufactured it in the right way. So how did they actually do that, right? The way this company does that is, not only is this high quality titanium, but they also will coat the whole product in a thin layer of ceramic, right? And so the ceramic is how it's able to actually go into the sauna and the ice bath without depreciating like super fast or deteriorating over time and then giving you bad readings, right? So it's like, I like how they thought of the extra covering of ceramic. You don't see that in the little cheaper solutions. So that's what sold me on it, because I go to the sauna a lot and I don't want to have to take it off, because another point is that even if you have a cheaper band solution or the watches or whatever, if you take them off during your sauna or whatever, or your scuba diving or your ice bath, right, then you're not really tracking those calories and the way you feel and your heart rate, so you're going to get an inaccurate reading, which is the whole point of the whole product. Okay, all right, let's move on. Free charger. So they give you a free charger for this thing, and the charger actually is pretty convenient. So check this out. Here is the charger. Let's see if you guys can see that. You just place it on that right there, and it charges in like 15 to 30 minutes. So they give you a cord and they give you a base that's super fast. So you're good. You got the cord, the charger right there, and you can pretty much put it anywhere. What I've been doing with this charger, because every 4 days you should charge it for like 20 or 30 minutes. What I do is I put it in my bathroom. So like on the 4th day, when I take a shower, I mean, sometimes it takes me like 15 minutes to like brush my teeth, take a shower, do all that. So as I'm entering the shower on the 4th day, I just pop it off and then place it on the charger like such. Boom, it's placed on the charger. So I just do that, and then once I hop out of the shower, I put it back on. Boom, super easy, right? And then I'm good for the next 4 days. So that's the charger aspect. Another thing is like let's go into the maintenance and the cleanliness, right? Because this is waterproof, they actually recommend just running it through water, rinsing the thing with water and taking like your shirt or some cloth and cleaning the sensors inside. Do you see the sensors inside right there? Like the sensors right there? So you're supposed to rinse it with water and then just do this and just boop. You're done, and then it's clean. So super easy maintenance as well for this ring. All right, now that we just talked about how to clean the sensors, let's talk about what the sensors are, right? So there are a lot of super high quality sensors that they put into this titanium ring to monitor basically a lot of stuff. The most impressive sensor is the infrared sensors that they have built into this ring. So there are actually infrared rays that shoot into your fingers and go inside of your body, and that's how it will super accurately track things like calories and then like your heart as well. It'll monitor your heart and it'll monitor all of that stuff right through the infrared rays, right? And infrared, those aren't healthy. I mean, I know a lot of like microwave rays and like some of the sun, a lot of those are harmful sometimes, right? But infrared is actually not harmful to your body. That's why if you guys are into the hitting the sauna a lot, like I am, you know how like the dry sauna is okay, but the infrared saunas are much more efficient because they go inside of your skin and then heat your body up, and then, you know, so it stays cooler and the outside air isn't that hot, right? So infrared is super safe and super healthy. So that is actually how they track everything in a super accurate way. They actually put infrared sensors inside of the ring, which is awesome. All right, so if you're wondering how you get your right size, once you place an order on the website, let me show you what that looks like. Once you hit shop now and then you choose your ring, and it'll go select size, right? So know your Oura ring size. So if you already know your size, you can put in the size, but you're probably not going to know your size, right? Unless your friend had one of these and they let you borrow the sizing kit. But you just click on use free Oura ring sizing kit, highly recommended, right? So you hit add to cart, and then what you do is you check out, and then what happens is that they send you the sizing kit first, right? In the mail, it takes a few days, and then you try on, you know, the super straightforward sizing kit, and then once you know your size, they'll send you another email a few days later. As soon as you order, a few days later, the email comes in, and then you can order through that email link and tell them like, I'm a size 10, you know? So that is how that works. The sizing kit is actually free. All you're paying for is the ring and then the shipping and handling or whatever, right? And so, all right, so now let's talk about what finger is more optimized to actually put your Oura ring on, right? All right, so what's interesting is I found that, you know, your ring finger and your pointer finger for a lot of people is like almost the same size. So I thought that was kind of interesting. You can kind of alternate, but they actually don't have a certain finger that they recommend that will read better because their sensors are so advanced, which is pretty cool, right? And so, you know, what I did is I just put it on my ring finger on my right hand, because isn't like the left hand, like you're married, right? If you put on your ring finger on the left hand. So anyways, I don't want, you know, girls to know I'm married because I'm single, right? So I put it on my right hand on my ring finger, and that's where I did it. Some people will put it on their middle finger, or their pinky. I guess you could do that if you want to rock the pinky ring, but it's more comfortable for me just on the ring finger on my right hand, so people don't think I'm married. And that is where I did it. They do recommend that the lasers, though, you see these like the main lasers at the bottom right there, so the lasers have to sit flush against like the palm of whatever finger you choose, right? So slide it in like that, and that's where your little pointed or your flat piece will just point straight up. You see what I mean? You see that the flat piece? As long as it's pointed up, then you're wearing it properly. So that is the fitment of this ring. All right, so once you actually get your ring, then you have to download the Oura app, right? And the Oura app looks like that. Boom, it gives you scores and stuff. So there's the Oura app. And then you've got 3 main menu tabs at the bottom, if you can see that. And the menu tabs are your readiness, your sleep, and your activity. So what's cool is that it's not just like a one sleep score. They get really in particular with how you're sleeping, which is super cool, and it gives you graphical data as well. So let's look at some of these metrics just under the sleep alone, right? So you've got total sleep, how many hours you slept in total. But what's cool is that it's not just your total sleep. Like, this thing knows your movement, so it'll tell you your total sleep. It'll give you a score called efficiency right below it. So it gives you your sleep efficiency. So just because you slept, or I slept 7 hours total yesterday, doesn't mean those 7 hours were actually efficient, right? I might not have been resting well during the 7 hours. So my efficiency was 70%. So out of the 7 hours, really only 70% of that was like good sleep, is what it's telling me, right? It gives you another score called restfulness, which is quite interesting. It'll tell you your REM sleep, right? And the percent, like the total time. So look, my REM sleep last night, by the way, I got a terrible score. I got a 51. So my sleep has just been awful. But it tells you REM sleep. I only had 39 minutes of REM sleep last night, which is 10% of what they recommend. So really, I should have had like 4 hours or so, or I'm sorry, 390 minutes of REM sleep, and I had only 39 minutes. So that's really not good. It's hurting my overall score. And then deep sleep, right? I only had 13 minutes of deep sleep. Isn't that nuts? Like, I had no idea before I bought this that even though I slept for 7 hours, only 13 minutes of it, which is a 3% score of what they recommend, was deep sleep. And then only 10% was REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement sleep. So it really tells you everything you'd ever want to know about your sleep. Even gives you latency as well. Freaking latency on your sleep, guys. And then timing, like, did you go to sleep at the right time like you're supposed to, right? I always miss it. So really cool. Total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scores within sleep, and it gives you an overall score of how you slept and if it's good or not. So my overall score was 51. It says pay attention to your sleep, and then it'll throw you some good advice as well inside of the app. So some advice it's telling me is, hey, go outside and get some fresh air, and that might help you sleep tonight. You know, so it gives you these little advices as well. So that is your sleep, and the activity is really cool because this thing will show you your total burned calories over to the top right. So how many calories you actually burn throughout the whole day, and not just while you're working out, right? Like those, like a cheaper solution. It tells you your overall calories because of the rays that are shooting into your freaking body. And monitoring your heart and your movement. So this is super accurate stuff right here, and it makes sense, right? So show you your total burned calories. It'll also show you your active calories, like intense calories that you burnt in a row. Like if you did like a 2-hour workout, right? It'll know when you're doing a 2-hour focused workout. So it always gives you a goal. It's like, my goal is, hey, 600 calories like active in a row. And so it tells you how much you're at. So I'm at 300 calories now out of 600, but I still have yet to work out. So hopefully I meet that goal. It also tells you how many steps you've walked, and then the walking equivalency. So like how far you walked throughout the whole day, and then it gives you a score, right? So it'll say things like stay active. How active were you? Did you move every hour? Did you meet your daily goals, your training frequency, and then your recovery time, right? It actually knows if you're recovering well and how fast you're recovering from a workout, which is mind-blowing. So I thought that's really interesting. It looks like there's about 6 metrics just under activity alone, and your total steps and your total calories burnt. So check this out. So today I'm at 2,704 calories burnt so far. Yesterday I ended off burning 2,925 calories. The day before I burnt 3,039 calories. The day before I burnt 3,122 calories. The day before I burnt 3,156 calories. And then dang, one day I burnt 3,421 calories. That's a lot of calories. So it's kind of cool to see where you're at, right, as it's progressing during the day. So that way, if you have any goals, like fitness goals, you're trying to gain muscle or something, or you're trying to lose fat, at least, you know, it's dynamically updating your calories, right? So I feel like a lot of people don't do their macro nutrition right because they're just guessing that they should eat this many calories, right, to burn fat or build muscle. But it's cool to actually see it dynamically change right on there through your app, because then you can like adjust your meals, you know, based on what it's telling you to actually meet your fitness goals. So the last sub menu we're going to talk about is readiness. So readiness takes into account, you know, the activity, how you're feeling, how your heart's doing, and the quality of your sleep. And then when you wake up every day, it gives you this readiness score to let you know like how you should be feeling. And over 2 weeks of getting a readiness score, I've actually found out just throughout my common sense and how I feel that it's super accurate. So like, you know, the first few days I was just looking at it, I would wake up, you know, and I'd be like, man, I just feel really tired and like not really ready to do anything or work. And my readiness score was like 50, you know, so I'm like, oh, that made sense. And then I would wake up and be like, I feel good today. Like I can film some YouTube videos and talk a bunch in front of the camera for hours. And then my score was like an 80. So over a few days, I was like, wow, this readiness score actually makes sense. And I can feel it the second I wake up, right? And so one day I felt great. I woke up and I'm like, geez, I slept good. I feel like I can do whatever I want. And my readiness score was like a 92. So it's just surprising how accurate it is. And I've had a really, really good experience so far. So it's almost to the point now after 2 weeks where if I wake up and I feel bad, I'm like, I bet my readiness score is like 52, and I try to call it. And then, you know, I'm usually really, really close since I've just been used to what my metrics are. So that's pretty exciting that you can feel that it's actually working when you wake up with the readiness, and just understanding the readiness and being comfortable with trusting how the readiness score, like what it's telling me and how I feel. You'll probably find out and agree with me that it's really easy to see how accurate this thing is just by waking up in the morning and then thinking about your readiness score. So to me, it's like, man, if this thing is so accurate with my readiness score, I bet it's super accurate with my calories too. And I bet it's super accurate with my sleep as well. And the sleep you can kind of feel as well, you know, so this thing is just super high quality, and it's cool that you don't have to ever really take it off unless you're going to charge it for 30 minutes, you know, while you're in the shower, which is pretty convenient. All right, so some bonus things about the Oura Ring that I thought were super, super cool is that how they actually let you import your overall data on a graph onto like Microsoft Excel or a CSV or a Google Sheet, and you can actually see the graphs like over like a month or however, you know, period of time that you filter for, and you can see how you've been sleeping or how active you are and how ready you were throughout your week. So it's cool that they let you just push the data over and then see your health just through a graph. That's super official and that's awesome, right? So I think the fact that they can do that, this company has actually been marketing towards large businesses and companies and organizations, and they're trying to sell these Oura rings right now through a marketing campaign that is really targeting giant business corporations that want to monitor the overall health of all their employees. So I thought that was really interesting as well, you know. And if you're going to cut deals with big companies and corporations, like I'm sure Oura really stands behind their product and they feel confident, you know, because selling to corporations is like, you definitely can't have a bad product if you do that, right? They're already cutting deals with big companies so they can monitor the health of their employees and kind of sell it like it's going to help your business be more efficient. So I thought that was a super cool angle as well. And now let's look at like their warranty and that sort of thing if you're considering a purchase. All right, so let's check this out, right? Warranty FAQs. Okay, we're on the website. How long is a warranty on my Oura ring? Oura rings are covered under a limited warranty for a period of 2 years from the original shipment date. They receive your shipping confirmation email from Oura. If you receive a replacement before this 2-year mark is reached, your warranty will continue to be covered for the remainder of the 2-year period or for 90 days following the date of your replacement, whichever happens to be longer. So that's pretty good. I mean, 2 years is really good. And if you do submit a request through the team, they say that you should hear back from them for no longer than 5 or 7 business days. So that's actually not bad. At least they put what you can expect on here. Most companies don't do that, and they just like will not reply. So that's cool. it's like, hey, we'll get back to you within this amount of time. I think that was nice. So I mean, 2 years works for me. This thing is super accurate. I've been seeing it, living with it, and I mean, even if I have to buy a new one every 2 years, whatever, you know, like this thing's awesome, and I don't have to take it off in the sauna, which is what I do every day. And the last thing that will probably make you crack up, because it's actually pretty funny, but what I noticed that on the app, they have something on the app called what's it called? It's like sleep sounds or something. Rest mode, sleep sounds. I was right. So they've got something called sleep sounds on the app, and you click on it, and what I realized that is that they're partnering with some company that is actually super interesting, because you play these audio story clips that they provide inside of your Oura app. They give you like a few free stories for free, and then you can sign up to get more stories or whatever. So I'm sure they're in partnership, but these stories are quite hilarious. So it's like random. So this company, I looked into this company, and they make stories with super like researched intent to make you doze off and fall asleep faster. So everything that they come up with in the story, the words, the way they tell the story, is like optimized to help you fall asleep. And then they take it a step further, I've noticed, and they actually master and sweeten the audio, so it's like sounds awesome and helps you fall asleep. So there's a few free ones on the app for free, and I clicked one and I tried to fall asleep to it, and these stories are just so hilarious, but it worked so well. So I put the story on, and like within 12 minutes I fell asleep. So I thought that was really cool that they're really prioritizing sleep, to be a super important thing for your health, and they're helping you by giving you some sleep sounds to help you fall asleep. So I connected this to like my Alexa speaker, and it was playing, and it sounded good. But these stories are just so funny to listen to, because they're like just a bunch of fictional nonsense, but it actually sounds pretty good to listen to doze off. Let me play one for you right now.
Magical Norwegian fairy tale. But before we begin, let's find our calm and peace. Relax your body where you lay, and allow your limbs to become heavy.
Relax your body where you lay. All right, check this out. Let me skip forward.
Stood a great big white bear. Good evening to you, said the white bear. Good evening, said the man. Will you allow me to marry your daughter? Said the white bear. It was quiet where they lived in the forest, with no one around, and the young woman knew the bear was kind and gentle, so she agreed. Next Thursday evening, the white bear came to fetch her. She seated herself on his back with her bundle, and they departed.
Anyways, so funny stories that are fictional, but they're actually pretty hilarious to listen to, and they actually do help you doze off. Halfway through that story, I fell asleep, so it actually works. Anyways, that's the Oura Ring, guys. I hope you appreciated that review. I think we covered everything. We covered the way it's manufactured, how to clean it, the charger, where you should charge it in your bathroom. That makes the most sense for me. It lasts like 4 days. What else did we miss? If I missed anything, please leave me a comment in the comment section below, and I will address it. I'm really liking this thing for sure. I'm probably gonna buy one for my mom as well, and for my dad, just because I want them to have it. And it's been a really critical tool for my health, especially if you're trying to meet fitness goals, because like this thing's super accurate and you don't have to take it off. So I really love this Oura Ring. I think it's well worth. I would have spent probably $2,000 on it. I probably would have spent $2,000 on it, but luckily it's only $299. So definitely I approve of the Oura Ring. I think it's an awesome addition, and it looks really cool. Look at that. Like, looks like you've got some cool bling on as well. You know, it's not cheap. It's a piece of titanium. So I like the way it looks. So anyways, guys, if you have any other questions or so, please leave them in the comment section below. And if this review helped you in your decision, please give it a like and subscribe to our real estate channel. This is a real estate channel, but I do use this for my overall health and to perform better in my career as a real estate mentor, right? So this is really going to help you in your job, your career, your health, you know, etc. So definitely I recommend it. And if you can't afford the Oura ring, I mean, you might as well just join real estate, right? You don't need a college degree and you can make tons of money. That's actually what my channel is all about, is how to become a real estate agent in the best way possible, you know, without a college degree, so you can afford cool things like the Oura ring. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here and I hope to see you on the next one.